So you spend 2 weeks on an ad. The brief goes back and forth. The designer takes 3 rounds. The copywriter finally nails the hook. You launch it. And it dies in 4 days. And your first instinct is, we need a better ad, right? Stronger hook, better visuals, more scroll stopping. But what if the problem was never the quality of the ad? What if the entire way you think about ad creative is just outdated? Here's a number that changed how I think about this. Only 6 to 7% of ad variations actually become winners. That's from real testing data across thousands of campaigns, which means 93% of every ad you launch, it was always going to lose. And that is what I want to break down today, because once you see the creative through this lens, the whole strategy flips. I'm going to show you why the old model of make fewer, better ads is actually costing agencies money and what the new math looks like when AI enters the picture. The old model is the slot machine with one coin. Let me paint the picture most agencies are still living in. You've got the client, they need creatives. Your team produces maybe 5 to 15 new ad variants a month. That's the industry average for traditional production. Each one takes time, briefing, scripting, designing, reviewing, revising, and each one costs real money. We're talking anywhere from $5,000 to $30,000 per video if you're using a traditional agency or production team. Now remember, 93% won't work. So out of your 10 new creatives this month, maybe one hits, maybe. And you spend the whole budget finding that one winner through a process that feels like playing slots with a handful of coins. The math is brutal. If only 6 to 7% of variants become actual winners, you need volume to find them, not perfection, volume. And 10 creatives a month just isn't enough sample size for the math to work in your favor. It's like trying to find a good restaurant in a new city by only visiting one place. You might get lucky, but you probably won't. The people who always find great spots, they try a lot of places. The new math, volume is strategy. Here's where things get interesting. Agencies using AI for creative production are putting out 50 to 150 ad variants per month. Some are doing more. That's not 10x output for 10x the cost. The percent cost drops by 70% or more. We're talking roughly $200 per video compared to thousands with traditional production. So let's run the real numbers. If 6.5% of variants are winners, which is the middle of that range, and you test 10 creatives a month, you're statistically likely to find 0 to 1 winner. So some months you find nothing. But if you test 100 variants, now you're looking at 6 or 7 winners per month. Same hit rate, completely different outcome. This is the shift agencies keep missing. They're still optimizing for the wrong variable. They're trying to make each individual ad better, which sounds logical, when the actual winning move is to test more ads faster and let data pick the winners. And the data backs this up. Companies using AI in their ad creative process are seeing 20 to 30% higher ROIs. Not because each ad is better in isolation, because they're finding winners faster and scaling them sooner. But won't the quality drop? I hear this from agency people all the time, and I get it. If you're a creative strategist, the idea of cranking out 100 variants feels like it cheapens the work, like you're trading quality for quantity. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Human judgment at predicting which ad will perform, about 52% accurate. Basically a coin flip. AI creating scoring models are hitting 90% accuracy on predicting performance before the ad even runs. So the ad your team spent 2 weeks perfecting because it felt right, it had about the same odds as the one you almost threw away. The creative instinct is real and it matters for brand, but for performance prediction, it's not much better than guessing. The new model isn't about removing creative thinking. It's about separating 2 jobs that used to be one. Creative strategy, the angles, the hooks, the positioning, that's still human in the loop work. But producing and testing the variations of those angles, that's where AI changes the math. Think of it like cooking. A great chef doesn't make one plate and hope it's perfect. They taste constantly, adjust, iterate. The tasting is the process. Volume testing with AI is the same thing for ads. What this actually looks like in practice. Because use AI to make more ads is vague. Let me break down how this works at the workflow level. Phase 1. Start with your product or offer. The AI analyzes it, the product page reviews competitor landscape, and generates creative angles. Not random stuff. Angles based on what's actually in the product data. Phase 2. Those angles turn into full ad variations. Scripts, visuals, hooks, different formats for different platforms. Meta wants something different from TikTok. Vertical video, static images, UGC style content. Phase 3. You test everything. Launch the variants, let the platforms optimize, and within days you know which 6 to 7% are winners. Then you scale those and kill the rest. The entire cycle that used to take 4 to 8 weeks with traditional production, it happens in 1 or 2 weeks. And then you do it again the next week. Because creative fatigue is real. Ads die fast now, especially on Meta and TikTok. The average winning ad has a shorter shelf life than ever, so agencies that can refresh fastest win. The legal thing nobody mentions. One thing that surprised me doing the research for this video, almost nobody in the AI ad creative space talks about the legal side. And there are real things agencies need to know. Starting June 2026, New York requires disclosure when you use AI-generated synthetic performers in ads. So if you're using AI avatars and you're running ads in New York, which if you're in Meta you probably are, this matters. The EU AI Act kicks in August 2026 with transparency requirements around AI-generated content. And there's still an open question for the US Copyright Office about whether purely AI-generated content can be copyrighted at all, since copyright currently requires a human author. None of this means don't use AI for ads. It means keep a human in the loop. Review what goes out. Make creative decisions that the AI executes. That's not just good practice, it's likely going to be a legal requirement. And honestly, it's better advertisement anyway. The best results come from human strategy and taste, plus AI production speed. Where Admove fits in this? This is exactly the problem we've been thinking about at Admove. How do you give agencies and brands the volume they need, fresh creatives every week, across formats, across platforms, without losing the strategic layer? That's why we built Admove as an AI agent, not just another tool. You connect your store, it analyzes your products, and it generates the full creative package. Video ads, image ads, scripts, hooks, different angles, creative briefs from the actual product data. Not templates, not generic stuff. Ads built from what makes your product different, and it runs on autopilot. The creative pipeline just keeps running. The bigger picture. 91% of US ad agencies are now using or at least exploring AI tools. 86% of ad buyers are either using or planning to use AI for video ad creation specifically. This is not a trend anymore, it's just how the industry works now. But here's what's interesting. Only 25% of agencies are using AI for data optimization. Most are using it for brainstorming and content drafting. They're using AI to do the old job faster instead of doing the new job, which is testing at volume and letting performance data drive creative decisions. The agencies that get this, the ones who stop trying to make one perfect ad and start building systems that find winners through volume. And they're going to pull ahead fast. And the ones that don't, they're going to keep playing slots with one coin and wondering why the math doesn't work out. If you want to follow along as we build Admove and keep breaking down how AI is changing the ad creative, hit subscribe and tell me in the comments how many ad variants is your team testing per month right now. I'm just curious. I'll see you in the next one.